Hope you're doing this fun. This is Sellavin asking you on the new Naruto Garden arc with Boruto. Oh, thanks for watching. And let me start off at the beginning right now. This whole chapter is definitely what you call more progressive. Like, it seems a bit slower, but at the end it starts to progress. Like, for example, in the beginning, you saw that she wants to follow Naruto because she wants to meet her father very badly, and Naruto leaves. But he gives a saying to Shikamaru saying Boruto, oh sorry, apparently Boruto was gonna bring him a bag lunch, and he just left. I mean, your son, even though you may not spend time with your son Naruto a lot, your son was gonna bring you lunch, so that should be very important. And basically, it wasn't even his idea to come. It was like Hinata sent him apparently, because like having someone to make you lunch, I mean Hinata's his wife, so basically we all know that. So, but you get the situation. Like basically Baruto, he's like a little disappointed again, and like he came to deliver his dad's food, and probably a chance to see him again, and because his dad's always busy, but his dad just up and left. But then Sarada, she came to the conclusion she wants to use use the lunch excuse to go see Naruto, like because Baruto doesn't know where Naruto went, but Sarada does. She was spying the whole time, and she wants to use the excuse, like use the bad lunch to go deliver him and to follow him along the way. Wait, so basically she's gonna use him as a tool to find out how she can see her father again. Because Sasuke, I mean, they both have similar things in common. I mean, they both barely see their dads at all. The only difference is Boruto's dad is still in the village, while Sarada's dad is not. So basically, I mean, she hasn't seen him since she was a baby. So basically, she has almost no memory. So yeah, that's a lot to discuss and a lot to take in for a little girl, especially knowing that one of your parents may not be really your real parents. So, however, Baruto, like even though he asked the lunch, he doesn't want to give it to Salada. He starts to make a big fuss, like like a baby. He even comes with Mutsu and with Mutsi. You know that kid that looks like he's the son of Toneri Osusuki from the last Naruto the movie. That like Tonetti like Tonetti he basically sucked as a character. That ass he sucked. Yeah, but off topic. You get the point. The point like Boruto he doesn't want to, but then they start to talk a little bit. He's saying that he and my mom made this meal. So in this meal and stuff, I was supposed to be delivering it to her, but yeah, and I gave her my fruit. He's basically like he was asked to do this. He didn't want to go. He was basically asked to do this, and it would have been a good opportunity to see his dad. But then Salada talks to him a little bit, like explains certain details. Even though you don't see your dad a lot, you can still get to see him sometimes and stuff like that. Basically, she's using her feelings in her situation and to understand how he feels, but hers is a lot worse, a whole lot worse. And so you basically understand the situation. She even starts to get to him a little bit. So and she gives him and he gives her the lot with help with Shikamaru. Him being there stuff. Basically, Shikamaru he kind of smoothed things over a little bit, but you get the point. Point. And Choja goes along with her. Choja, I like how Choja she still doubts that Choji and, and oh my god, and Karuin is her real parents. I know she's trying to add some humor to this, but you got at least I want to take her seriously, a character, but part of me doesn't. And, I mean, seriously, but you get the point. You get the situation, but fine. But as they begin to travel, they're not no, they're being spied on, and what they look like the spy on looks like a combination of of the Jubi, the Ten Tails, sticking out of a tree, watching them, and kind of like how Zetsu does it. You know how Zetsu he merges with the trees and comes once with the land using wood style because he's a biologically engineered being created from Hashirama's clothes using wood style. Well, white Zetsu was Hashirama, black Zetsu was Madara. So they both use wood style, but it's the same situation. But you get the situation of how it works. But that's the thing you gotta handle and deal with this situation. Like, apparently, from what I'm looking, it looks like they were waiting for her to leave the village. It seems that their target is not just Sasuke. They want to target Salada. Remember, as a Uchiha starts out young, they grow stronger. Go through the intense training and how they and what they do in the repetition, and eventually they awaken the Sharingan to their physical strength and endurance and their emotions. Like the harder you train and the more you focus on, the stronger you become, and eventually you become one of the strongest ninjas in the Hidden Leaf. And other than, and then we get to learn the name, and we see this guy like, I we saw the other guy, and the white haired guy, right, with the Sharingan as well. His name is Shin Uchiha. And he wears the Uchiha crest, but there are some things that are still unknown. For example, the guy in the Akatsuki robe, he too has a Sharingan. It says, bring his daughter who bears the Uchiha crest to me. We thought it was gonna be Orochimaru, but this guy, he too has the Sharingan. I'm like, hey, seriously, like, what is going on? I'm like, I'm like, other people are emerging out of nowhere with the Sharingan. I'm like, are these people like more of Orochimaru's experiments? And like we were told that Orochimaru was going to be the main antagonist in the whole Brouto arc. Now he was confirmed, and they were talking about him in the last chapter. Even though it's only been 3 chapters, we haven't seen Orochimaru, but we're getting word that he's definitely involved. That means we're going to see him pretty damn soon. Yeah, and Salada and Choji they go to the forest. They try to track Naruto, but Naruto, he's tracking them as well. He's in stage mode. He can feel their presence. Like Naruto, he's supposed to be the village leader. That means he's supposed to be one step ahead. And using sage mode, he can detect who or what going on around him without even lifting a finger. Yeah, and he's using it. And he's still trying to go to Sasuke, even though, despite knowing that these two girls are behind him and the children, like, but as they make their way towards the forest, they're interrupted, and Sheen and he appears. There's the Uchiha guy, Sheen. He he tells Salada his name, but Salada, she's like confused because Sakura told her that there was no other Uchiha left. They said, you need to come with me right now. He's like, I refuse. And if I refuse, like, he's gonna take her by force. It's obviously this guy is gonna take her by force. I mean, he's not afraid to fight. I mean, we saw him fight with Sasuke, but Sasuke, he wasn't even using his Sharingan. And he just fought. He was barely like using all his strength. But if he used his Sharingan and Rinnegan, he probably would have been toast. But you get and I kind of like the fight. That I kind of like some of the fights that they used. The fight was pretty fast paced though. Oh, Shoke, we get to see Chochira. She is definitely Choji's daughter. She uses the expansion jutsu on her arm and decides to change her body. She does it, and she's definitely Choji's daughter. And I still can't believe Choji backed. Katori and Katori from the Hidden Cloud. But you get the point. Kishimoto said that he's good with actions but not relationships. Although he did do well with Hinata, Ata, and Naruto. But you get the point. And he's like the action was kind of fast paced, not really what you expect. They did their best, but Sheen, he's definitely overpowering them. He definitely has more experience in battle and definitely tougher training. Because these girls, they remember they're still young. They haven't even passed the exams to become full genin yet. So basically, they're not even shooting. They haven't hurt their headbands. So they're all inexperienced. Yeah, but just as things were about to rally up, the Hokage comes at the last minute and saves them, Naruto, saying, "And this fight may be too tough for children, but I do think that all children are good, though." And he looks at him saying, "Sharingan, oh, it's you!" Like, and the chapter ends. It ends on a high note. Like Naruto knows him, whatever. Like Naruto knowing this guy definitely knows. that something big is gonna happen. If Naruto knows this much, that means he's definitely gonna be up to something big. Yeah, I mean, as the village leader and as Hokage, he definitely has to. He definitely has to make this move. But knowing that those two girls were following him, was this a part of his plan all along to use Salada as bait to find out what this guy was really up to? Because I want to know. I want to know as much as you do. Because it seems that the bad guys, they're definitely after Sasuke and his family. They definitely they want something from Sasuke. They definitely want him. I and and definitely they're gonna do anything they can to achieve their goals. Hope you enjoyed. That's fine. The comment, subscribe. Thank you. This is still my game, Leonardo Gurdon, and Chapter 3. Definitely fast-paced chapter. And it got to fight at the end, but I think we're gonna get to a bigger fight maybe next chapter. I want to see what happens next. What do you think? Hope you enjoyed. That's right. I comment on This is Sellavin Adams. I'm sorry I didn't give you enough detail, and I dragged on too long, but you get my point.